Having trouble with your garage door? Problem solved. Call Direct Service Overhead Garage Door Company. We're your go-to team for garage door repair, new garage doors, openers, and more. We offer same-day service. We're always ready when you need us. Best of all, you can book your appointment online or talk to a live operator 24/7. No machines, no waiting. So whether it's a broken spring or a brand new garage door, trust the local experts at Direct Service Garage Doors. Call us today or visit directserviceoverhead.com.
Oh, buddy. Oh, my goodness. Let's try it. Let's try 2 for 2 tonight, huh? 2 live streams in a single night. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome, everyone. It's the first basketball post game, even though it's an exhibition game. It's the first one. It's the first post game for hoops. I love it, man. It's that time of year. It has returned. Really excited for the year. Once again, Arkansas just looked the part, right? I mean, Arkansas basketball, they looked the part. Whether it's some of the key figures that are back from a season ago, whether it's the freshmen, we got to see the newbies from the transfer portal step up, huh? What about it, son? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. This is what we need. Inject this into our veins, please. Oh my goodness! And even though it's an exhibition, we're going to be handing someone's winning this bad boy. Someone's getting the Tusk Talk with Ty Player of the Game post-game gold chain, presented to you by Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Shout out to Travis Ford and the boys. So we got to wear the gold chain on behalf of one of these players, and I'm telling you, we got the poll up. You could add like 2 more names to this. Leak, Acuff, Brazil, and Ewan. Who gets the chain? You guys tell me. You tell me. Who do you think should get the chain? I might agree with you right now. Wow, Leak is up there, 89%. That's quite impressive. It's not too shabby. Hey, make sure you guys do me a solid. Like, share, and hit the subscribe button. I had said earlier I wasn't sure if we were going to go live or not. I know it's 11 o'clock on a Monday night. Don't expect a lot of people in here, but you know what? I'm glad you're here. Especially after we already went live once, and I told you I wasn't sure if I was going live, but again, I do appreciate you. Brady says, from down 17 to winning by 24, 41-point turnaround. Well, was it 17 or 15? Whatever, we're splitting hairs. It was incredible. Trip with the super chat. How about them Hogs, Maine? That's what I'm talking about. Trip, it was good seeing you in Fayetteville, Penguin Eds. It was good. Good stuff. July basketball school, indeed. Indeed. Absolutely. What a performance by the Razorbacks. So Memphis comes out in the first half and they're just slapping Arkansas around, man. I mean, it looked like not very much, I'm not going to say lack of effort, but it looks simple for Memphis to start off. This did not feel like an exhibition game at all. And, you guys know, and I'm sure you guys are too, I'm in like 4 group chats. I've got DMs. Ty, we're going to get rent off the floor, man. We're down like 12 points, and I'm getting people out. We're going to get rent off the floor. This is going to be a massacre. And I'm like, well, first off, it's the first half. Let's just hold on. Memphis is going to full court press. They're going to do everything they can to create some chaos. They know, even though this is an exhibition game, they're going to treat it like a regular season game, like a game that matters, or maybe a tournament game, even though it's, in their backyard, which won't be the case if they're in a tournament matchup. But they're going to treat this like it's for real. And, they did. And smacked Arkansas around. Got up 15 points, 17 points, whatever it was. And it did look like, wow, if Arkansas can't pull their heads out of their rears, this could get ugly. If they don't, and because we've only seen one other exhibition game against, don't know what to make of Cincy. I know last year they were who they were, not good on offense, not a great team. Now you're playing a Memphis team, even though they were one and done and they only played one game in the tournament, getting upset in the, what was that? Was that a 5-12 matchup, I think, in the tournament? And they were upset. No one saw that coming. But their season last year, they were really good. Now, they're one of I think 10 or 11 teams this year that had to return an entirely new roster, which, to be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised it wasn't more than that, to be completely honest. I figured it'd be 20-plus teams with complete makeover. Much love. What's going on, Drooby Dooby Show? Much love. Basketball season's back, my friend. Isn't it great? It's here. It's here. All this week is going to be, who gives a shit about football? I mean, am I wrong? Who cares about football other than who's going to take over at AD and who's going to be the new head coach? That's the conversation happening with football. With hoops, we're talking about, man, can we go back to the promised land? Can we advance and march? That's what we're talking about. Football's dead to me, says Hero Blake. My friend, do you know how often I have heard this? It's everywhere. The talk around town has nothing to do with Arkansas football. I'm ready for Cal year 2. I'm ready to see Acuff Thomas. I'm ready to see this version of Brazil, pre-injured Brazil, right? Ready to see these two transfers go off. I want to see Arkansas. We're sitting here talking about all these guys, and we barely even mentioned Knox, who was probably one of the strengths of this team. Leak is so good, says John Oliver, all the way around. TB playing with, TB playing within the game, not forcing stuff. Acuff dealing with the pressure. Ewan, great footwork. So many options. They've got some inside-outside presence, I don't see any I'd like to see more of the mid-range. I'd like to see more, where are they 12 to 15 feet out from the rim? I love that they can handle themselves out in the perimeter pretty well, seeing a lot of ball movement. There's a lot of things I like about this team. What I am noticing, and I wasn't real sure, I mean, we all know what these guys could do in high school and whatever. I wanted to see, and again, this was a road environment. This was a true road environment for them. The youngsters, the freshmen. I wanted to see Thomas, can he be a multi-layer scorer? Can he finish at the rim? Can he make plays? Can he do a little popping 15 feet out? Does he have a mid-range game? I don't think we saw a lot of that tonight. But boy, he can do it. It just seems like Thomas is without him in that first half, when Memphis gets out to that double-digit, damn near 20-point lead, all of a sudden the freshman turns these guys around. Thomas, not Acuff, Thomas. And yeah, Thomas led them in scoring. He was quiet, but he led them in scoring. Quietly. It was oh shit, he actually led them in scoring. Well, look what happened tonight. When they needed someone to step up, when they're trailing, Acuff's kind of turning the ball over a little bit. Pringle with 3 fouls. My God, the whistles tonight. Woo! Oh, my Lord. But, you've got everybody. How many guys did they play in the first half? Was it 8 or 9 different hogs on the floor? All of them except 2 had at least 2 fouls. Pringle had 3. Someone in Discord was like, why isn't Acuff playing? What's going on? Or not Acuff, sorry. Pringle. Where's Pringle at? What's Pringle? What's going on there? He had 3 fouls. So, but it's the freshman, it's Leak who comes through and plays big time. It was fantastic. Playing Simple Arkansas looks like a juggernaut, says James 870 Arc fan. Now, what I don't want to do, I don't want to overreact too much. I know I was high on the Hogs. I can't remember the last time I wasn't high on the Hogs going back to 2021. It's every year you feel like they've got, with the kind of roster and the talent they've brought in, no matter who the coach is, they, it felt like, wow, this is Sweet 16, Elite 8 level talent. And guess what? They backed that up. As long as I've been doing this, I'm like, this is so good. And yeah, he had the year where Musselman disappoints. Then after that, he heads off to USC. He heads back home. And then Cal puts this thing together, and we're all like, holy crap. Okay, he's putting this thing together late, but he's got it going. They got Brazil back, and they added so many good pieces, some guys from Kentucky, and they were able to kind of build off that, right? And doing that without their star freshman Boogie, it's just great. It's great. I apologize if you're just joining. If you didn't watch me earlier, if you haven't watched me in like the last week, I have been battling a gnarly head cold. This thing is kicking my ass, but I'm here for the people. I am here for the people, baby. Independent show right here. No big, giant corporate sponsors, Just me, myself, and I about to die. Man. And by the way, I took a COVID test. It did come back negative. I don't know what the hell this is. This is a Terminator head cold. Tired of the weather. It's this Arkansas weather change. Yeah, it is. It's the weather change. It might even just be allergies. I don't know. But I told my wife, if this is allergies, holy God. I have never had trouble with allergies before in my life. Not like this. It's crazy. If Billy consistently able to knock down the three, then he has a top 10 pick. Says GZM. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd go that far. You think he's a lottery pick? He's got a lot to build on, but he's still that energy. But no, going back to Leak though, like I think I have to agree with you guys. I think that's kind of where I'm leaning right now. Hey, make sure you guys do me a favor, like, share, hit the subscribe button. Again, shout out to Patreon supporters. Hey, man, your boy, I'm hanging in there by a thread, but I'm hanging in there. Show some support. Sign up for Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon. I'd really appreciate it. Fishman says, when I turned the game on, we were down 14 points. We never looked back. Y'all are welcome. My presence brought the victory, says Fishman. Hey, Drooby Dooby Doo Show. Welcome to Tuskville. Yeah, so we do have memberships. That's always a thing on YouTube. But what really is awesome is when you join Patreon, though. But I do appreciate anything. Whatever. It's awesome. I appreciate it. Tusk Talk meetup going to make me miss. Are we doing another one in July? What's going on? Let's go to the number sheet here. This is kind of wild. Again, this was not an exhibition. This felt like, holy crap, Arkansas is ready to rock and roll. That's what this is. Acuff, who, I didn't like, honestly, this says he had 0 turnovers. I swear he had at least 1, but they say 0. He only ended up with 1 steal, but 7 assists tonight with 17 points. Like Acuff, that's a strong, strong performance. And the thing that stands out, and I love that the broadcast caught this, because I'm watching this with the stat broadcast sheet, which you can go to. Anybody can pull it up. It's awesome. It's what the media uses when they're at the games, even or when they're not at the games. The media uses it. I highly recommend it. It's so much more in depth than ESPN. Highly, highly recommend it. It's what I use for my post games. I always use the stat broadcast sheets. But as I'm watching the game and I'm looking at the stat broadcast, and again, a lot of this stuff is available on ESPN, but you get what I'm saying. It's just a better layout and it's just easier to navigate. Bench points, 51 bench points. 51 bench points. 56 points in the paint, 20 points off turnovers, 13 second chance points. Man, you love being in double digits off second chance points. And you know why? You had 10 offensive boards. You had 10. That's great. That's not unbelievable, but that's great. That's what we wanted to see last year. Let's get more up into the 8 to 10, maybe 11, 12 range on the offensive boards on average. We couldn't do it. 46 rebounds. Incredible performance. Especially, man, I'm loving that. 6 offensive boards in the second half alone. So +2 there compared to the first half. I will say this about Acuff. Now, he was pretty solid at the free throw line, 5 of 6. Pringle 1 of 3 at the line. Thomas was 50%, 2 of 4. Really want to see some of these numbers go up. Really want to see some of this free throw shooting go up. They shot 67%. And I think the last game was something similar. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, which I probably am, but I swear it was not great at the line. And again, 67%. But the thing about Acuff, he can drive to the rim. It is so reminiscent of some great guards. You know who I want to say? I want to say JD Notte. He's got a little bit of that. He's fearless and he's unstoppable when he goes to the rim. However, as often as he charges the rim, I start going on a rant and then I feel like hang on. I need to blow my nose probably, but I'm going to have to. Hang on. As often as he charges the rim, bro, and he will pass it, but he's got to be a little bit, like I want to see more movement from him because, and he did a little bit of that, because as soon as he charges the lane, 2-3 guys are collapsing on him, and they know this dude who's not a tiny point guard. This is not some 6-foot point guard, 5'10", 5'11" point guard, not that those are as common as they once were. But this is a dude that's got a little bit of size. He's tough. He can absorb contact, and he can do things at the rim. He can finish. You watch his high school, or you watch his film coming out of high school, or coming out of I'm blanking on where he played at, but you watch his tape. He can do everything. He can absolutely finish at the rim. Every once in a while, it's like, bro, just kick it out. You got Richmond or someone, and he did do a little bit of that tonight. But I noticed that against Cincinnati, where he would do that, and then he would try these like no-look passes, and they would end up as turnovers. He can get a little sloppy, but God, he's so fun to watch. He is so fun to watch because he's capable of just making some crazy-ass play at the rim. He is very Notte-like with that 6'3" frame, right? 6'2", 6'3" frame. Hey, again, welcome everybody. If you're just hopping in here, make sure you like, share, hit the subscribe button. Unbiased Brim says we will average about 85 points a game. Oh my God, the offensive explosion that they have, and the fact that it can come from anywhere. Like, it could be Acuff. It could be, I realize Ewan last game against Cincinnati, again, you'll have to forgive me because that first half I was unable to watch all of it. But Ewan was, we wanted to see a little bit more out of him and some others, not just him. Tonight he goes 15 points, and he's 7 for 7 at the line. And he's smart underneath too. Now, he only had 1 assist tonight. But Ewan had an assist tonight. He did get into he got a little foul trouble there, but he also had a block and a steal. He was 13 in the plus minus. But again, he's 4 or 5 for 15 points, 7 for 7 at the line. Your scoring can come from anywhere. And it looks too like they're going to be pretty good at getting to the free throw line. So far as I can tell, they're going to be pretty good. They just got to shoot better than 67% at the line. They're going to find multiple. Remember, that was kind of Musselman's fallback. It was like, well, all right, we're struggling either finishing at the rim or we're not a great three-point shooting team, but we're going to get the other guys in foul trouble, and we're going to get our points there. We're going to shoot around 74%. Or maybe we're going to shoot, 75, 80% in the second half at the line. We're going to get to the line. We're going to finish you at the line. That's how we're going to finish off our games. We're going to get you in foul trouble. We're going to slow you down. We're going to make the game all messy, and we're going to get to the line. We're gonna take charges. It's gonna get ugly. This team feels like they can do a little bit of that too. Who was it in the first half? It was a textbook defensive play to take the charge. Who was that? Pringle, and that's how he caught his third foul. Was that Pringle or was that Ewan? I forgive me. I'm trying to type up notes and watch the game and. Again, I'm in like 4 group chats. I'm trying to keep up with everything. I struggle with that, boys. ADHD is a real thing. Anyways, it was a textbook. Like, that's how you take a charge. Stood still. He won the battle, and they still called a foul on him. I think that's probably going to work in their favor as the season goes on. I think that was a rare miss I say rare miss. This was a weirdly officiated game. But I think during the season they're going to catch that. Because that was a textbook charge. That should have been a foul on Memphis. So again, Arkansas, it looks like they're going to be like an inside out. We're going to get to the line. You know, and again, they got to shoot better at the line. You know, again, you want to be north of like 73, 74%. You know, and if you're a really good free throw shooting team, you'd like to be around 78 to 82%. If you're a really, really good charity stripe shooting team. Didn't like the 14 turnovers. Didn't like that. Again, they have a tendency to get real sloppy. And that has a lot to do with, you know, a lot of the newbies. Now, to be fair, Acuff didn't have a single turnover. Pringle didn't have a single turnover. Knox tonight, I guess really, maybe it's not so much. I say newbies. I mean like the new chemistry with the new players on the floor, you know. But Knox tonight, 4 turnovers. He did end up as the second half was unwinding. He ended up with 10 points. He had a rough night. He had 3 fouls plus a technical. He did have a block and a steal. 32 in the plus minus. But Knox did not. And again, think about this. You just beat the living hell out of who I think is going to be a really good Memphis team. 99 to 75, and Knox wasn't really a factor. That ought to tell you a lot. That ought to tell you a lot. I mean, how often did they have to lean on Knox last year? Just exciting. Knox got picked off at least 3 times, redeemed himself. Yeah. He ended up with 10 points. I mean, anytime you're in double digits, it's not terrible. Unless you're just taking a whole bunch of shots. Yeah. From game to game, anyone can score 25. I think you're right, Brim. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Razorbacks in double-digit scoring. Malik with 23. He's gonna get the gold chain, boys. Malik Thomas, he's gonna get the gold chain. He got it. It's an exhibition game, but who gives a damn? Leak, congrats, my man. Tusk Talk with Ty, player of the game in the post-game live show, brought to you by Direct Service Overhead the Garage Door Company. Cal's got himself a warrior in that one. Let me tell you, him and Acuff, oh my goodness. So boom, there you have it. I just don't feel, oh boy, here we go. Do I put it on just over the, there we go, that'll work. Ewan had a really good game too. 7 for 7 from Ewan. It was good to see, man. Again, if they can, if they finish at the rim a little bit better, I love that they had 21 fast break points. I mean, there were times last year where we felt like, yeah, that's going to be their identity. They're gonna score 18 to 24 a game in fast break points. Like that's going to be their identity. They can do it, and you know, they kind of changed things up a little bit. 19 to 29 on layups, 8 of 9 on dunks. Was that Brazil who missed that? Who tried to have like an ESPN highlight moment, and he tried to one hand dunk, and he got rejected by the rim. Arkansas led 16 minutes, 9 seconds of this game. They trailed for 20 minutes. Again, 51 bench points from Arkansas. I mean, that's a really good sign. Ty, the three-point shooting already seems much better. Cal teams aren't typically big outside shooting teams, but other teams will need to take us serious on the perimeter. I tell you what, Memphis was so quick out in the perimeter on defense. Like they were trying so hard to really cause chaos out in the perimeter, and I thought Arkansas did such a good job. Arkansas ends up going 6 of 17, which isn't, you know, that low amount. You know, again, that's 35%. That's not terrible. You'd probably like a number like 10 of 17 on the road. You know, if you can go 10 of 17 on top of everything else, the fact that you are like, I think their identity really is going to be. It seems to me. I'm not. So let me reiterate. Arkansas's identity so far is we're going to do what it takes to get to the rim. We're going to draw fouls, and we're going to be better at finishing at the rim. 19 to 29, 29 layups, by the way. 19 of 29 of your 79 possessions. 56 points in the paint. I mean, I think we're starting to understand what this team is. And yeah, percentage-wise, they're taking smarter shots outside for the most part. Now, Acuff was 0 for 4 outside. It's really just Billy Richmond who goes 2 for 3 and Thomas 3 for 7 outside. Like, those were the two guys. Wagner was 1 for 1. Wagner was 1. I wonder what his role is moving forward. Not that he was terrible. He just wasn't really a major factor. He also had 3 turnovers. And he did shoot 50%, but that's off 4 attempts. He ends up with 8 points. Pringle, who, you know, how many players fouled out in this game? 3, and he was one of them. He was the only Razorback to foul out. Arkansas with 25 personal fouls. And the technical. Again, none of this matters because it doesn't count. You know, we're not in the regular season yet. But there's just some stuff we do kind of need to – I want to see – I really want to see cleaned up. I want to see Acuff be a little bit smarter going to the rim. And I'm not asking for perfection. Again, he's you know, he's going to take it to the rim, man. As often as he is, it's going to be a lot. We ought to start keeping count. And he's damn good. I mean, when he just a little bit smarter, you know, decision-making around the rim. But for the most part, he's been, again, 6 of 16 with 17 points, right? And 7 assists. That's a really good game. And I think about half those came from charges to the rim or going to the rim. But he can get a little wild. I saw that against Cincinnati. He's not one you're like, oh, man, we got to work on him. No. Knox, you know, DJ Wagner. In fact, it was like the core group of guys. It was those two that you're a little like, wait a minute, hold on. They did what didn't they do? And by the way, Brazil, all of his rebounds I think came in the second half, and he had 3 blocks, 7 rebounds with 4 fouls. He got into some foul trouble, and so his minutes kind of got cut in half there. He didn't. Well, I say that he ended up with 32, 1 offensive board, but again, 10 offensive boards and 46 total rebounds. There's just so much to like about this team. I'm loving the 13 second chance points. Love that. 10 offensive boards, 21 fast break points. I mean, it's just, you know, and they took the lead in the second half and never looked back. You know. Now, I think it went back and forth there towards the end of the first half. Arkansas breaks that, you know, very reminiscent of last year. How often was that the case? They would go into the final 3 or 4 minutes of the first half by trailing. You know, they're trailing like 7, 8, 9 points, and they go on some little run. You know, I think at one point they were on like a 16-2 run in the second half. I think it was 16-2 or 15-2 run. It was great. We saw that last year when they were making their turnaround after the game at Rupp. You know, it was like it just they could go on these, you know, these 8-0, 10-2, 12-4, 13-3 runs, and it just completely flipped the game. And we saw it again tonight. Only this time they did it again in the second half and took the game over and walked away. And Memphis was like, yeah, I don't think we're going to press them as much. That's the thing about Wagner. Wagner last year was really good against the press. And it looked like Arkansas, that might have been one of the changes that they started letting Wagner bring the ball out a little bit more. But Malik Thomas gets the postgame MVP, 23 points, 9 of 15, 3 of 7 outside. I mean, imagine if that's what you can get out of this guy. Let's do a little bit better at the free throw line. Let's do a little bit better. You know, maybe 3 of 4, not 2 of 4. But we're splitting hairs at this point. Billy Richmond was 3 of 6 at the line too, by the way. Rebounding sounds great, says Brian Frazier. What was the... Let me pull that up. What was... Yeah, they out-rebounded... Wow. They out-rebounded Memphis. I didn't look at that. By 13. 46-33. Memphis did end up with 12 offensive boards. That I'm not in love with. But, you know, a couple of those just went right into their hands. Both teams had 13 second chance points. Memphis did end up with 25 bench points, which is fine. But Arkansas more than doubles that. That is insane. 26 points in the paint by Memphis to Arkansas's 56. They had 18 fast break points to Arkansas's 21. Arkansas tonight, the other thing we haven't even talked about, 8 blocks. Imagine if this game did matter for the books and your first regular season game, you had 8 blocks and 8 steals with 19 assists. Yeah, you had a 19 to 14 assist to turnover ratio. Memphis had a 10 to 13, so they were -3. This game was tied up 5 different times. Yeah, a lot to love here. You know me, I'm going to get into the numbers. I'm going to start kind of thinking out loud, but there's not much really to complain about here. There's really not. Honestly, A-Cuff, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, man. If you're going to get 17 to 20 points a night with 7 assists, you know what? Whatever. Go do your thing, man. Go do your thing. What did Arkansas end up rotating? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, in Memphis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So Memphis ended up rotating 11. Arkansas rotated in 8. Yeah, I'm ready now. I'm sticking with what I said. What was my prediction on wins for Arkansas this year? 13-3 or 14-2. I don't know about. I don't know. I don't think they end up. This really could be the kind of year where, it's a tight race at the end of the year. It's like a 3 or 4 way, like just tight race between Kentucky, Florida, Arkansas, maybe Bama, maybe Tennessee. I'm telling you, Vandy and Missouri are worth keeping an eye on, especially Missouri too, with some of the talent they brought in. And they got solid coaching. I'll just call it like it is. As much as I think Arkansas is pretty far ahead of Missouri. Anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen this year. Anything can happen. I mean, hell, who knows? Maybe we're not talking enough about Beard at Ole Miss. What is it, 2 now? Is it year 2 with Beard or year 3? It's year 2, right? Like, what about Vanderbilt? Maybe we're overlooking someone. South Carolina. I don't want to say Auburn because Auburn, I don't know what to make of Auburn just yet with what happened with Pearl. But, yeah, who knows? I have a feeling maybe Arkansas maybe they end up with like a 14-4. Or 13-5, but I still think they're going to be in that mix. I still have them finishing either tied or right there in the mix in the top 3 when the season unfolds. Now that's now when you talk about that, then you are going to look at the specifics. Then we are going to deep dive into some of these numbers, and we may think they don't really matter, and some of the play by some of the younger guys don't really matter until it's a tight race towards coming out of February. Oh, man. This is not as easy to do when you are feeling like absolute dog shit, Arkansas responded how a national champion team would respond, says Josh. Yeah. Yeah, when you're trailing 15 and you find a way to win by that margin, 99-75, and for a minute there, I wasn't sure Memphis was going to get to 75 points. Arkansas did a really good job. Yeah, Leak ended up with 77%. I want to say this, too, about Brazil. Even though Brazil only ended up with 8 points, he got 7 boards, and I swear he got them all in the second half. Like, he goes on these spurts. I think there was like a 6-possession fold there where he ended up with like 3 rebounds and 4 points, in a matter of just like 6 possessions. And a block in there somewhere. And a block. And maybe even an offensive, because he ended up with 1 offensive board. He can turn the tide, even though they're just like, a couple just possessions by him making some big plays. With either a block, which again he had 3 tonight, maybe a steal followed up with last year he'd followed up with a big dunk or whatever. he can change. He can absolutely turn the tide with these small little, these little jolts, these great moments that just happen and you don't think much about them, and then you look back and you go, oh, damn, that was actually a big moment. And he can do that, and he can turn the tide, and he's not a bad, like when you watch him play inside and around the post or closer to the rim, whatever you want to do with him, stretch four, whatever you want to do with him, depending on what you're doing at the 5 spot, or maybe he's playing the 5. He can change the game with just like being he alters shots with those long arms, or he gets blocks, or he gets a big dunk, or he's just really, at times, over the years, we've wondered about him getting pushed off the post and getting pushed off around from the rim and not being able to make plays defensively. It looks like he's gotten a little bit stronger. I just hope he can keep it going, because that's always kind of been a weakness of Brazil, is we don't get, although he's been injured, to be fair, so it's not always on him, but to see him do that week in and week out, game night in and night out, every Tuesday followed by every Saturday, or then Wednesday, Saturday, to do that game in and game out, play like that, play at that level. Again, 8 points, okay, whatever. I'm interested in the 3 blocks and in the 7 boards. You remember what Cal said about him? He could be a double-double or triple-double? I think he said double-double, because that sounds more accurate. He can be. He could be a 9 boards, 10 points. I know that's not exactly a double-double, but you know what I'm saying. He could be in that range. That's what Brazil can be. And tonight was not a bad performance by him at all. So, again, free throw shooting tonight for Arkansas. Let's clean that up. Let's get better. I love the fact that they were able to, of course it could have just been the refs, but their ability to get to the free throw line tonight was impressive. 37 shots at the line tonight. Again, would love to have seen that north of 72, 73% shooting, but still, love the fact that they attacked the boards. Love the fact that they forced a bunch of turnovers. They got 19 assists. That's wild. Do that throughout do that when it counts, when it matters in the regular season. If you're 17, 19 assists tonight and you're keeping those turnovers closer to single digits, damn, you're going to be hard to beat. Getting those points in the paint, getting those points from your bench, the 13 second chance points, attack 10 offensive boards. You're doing this stuff and we know that's not going to be the case. We don't really know how good or bad Cincy or Memphis really are. We don't know yet. And also, to compound it all, it was also a quote-unquote exhibition. Could be a really strong year, y'all. It was last year. And I think just as highly of this team, if not higher, than last year's. All right. Played like a second round game. We're an 8 or 9 seed, threatens for a while, but gets dominated. That's JB buried in the snow. Nice how Arkansas overcame the pressure they haven't really faced till now. Yeah, again, Patrick, that's why I said at the top of this, at the very beginning, they got smacked. They got smacked. Memphis came out, popped them in the face, and they responded. It was so good to see. We good. Hold on, let me read this right. James 870 Ark fan says, we good, damn, but I'm having a hard time reading this. If I could, can I zoom in on this? Why is it so small? We good, damn good, but let's not start overhyping everything because we all know as Hog fans what always happens. James, what did they do last year, my guy? I don't know. I don't know if that was directed at me. I am urging people, like, hold on, let's not overreact too much. There's a lot to love about this game. But what happened last year? Had people telling me that we were overhyping, and they go 0-5. And yeah, we all were, I mean, it was crazy. No one thought they were going to overcome that, and they did. And they went on a damn near, I mean, this was almost an Elite 8 team. with a roster that Cal had to piece together like in the middle of the night before the season started, it felt like. And then you had all the injuries. Remember Jonell? Jonell got hurt. You lost your star freshman, who ironically you ended up playing better because Wagner took the point guard spot. I mean, listen, we know what we saw last year, and the fact that you got the core group of those guys back. No, I don't think anyone's overhyping anything, to be honest. Now, if you're saying this is for sure a Final Four team, yeah, that might be going a little bit too far. Or even saying, yeah, this is for sure an Elite Eight team. All right, let's hold on. Let's get to the regular season, right? But to be fair, Cal did take these guys, despite an atrocious start in conference play, to the Sweet 16 when nobody thought they would even make the tournament. Me included, by the way. So, yeah, I mean, let's not say this is a national title team or even a Final Four team yet. You can say caliber. I think that's fair. You got to choose your words smart. You got to be smart about what you say. And I think they are I think it's an Elite Eight roster, maybe even Final Four. Oh, man. Yeah, nothing's guaranteed. You don't know until you get to the tournament, baby. But I do feel really good about them getting there. I'll say that. Bet we don't start 0-5. Well, I agree with that. I don't think they do either, James. Absolutely not. If they do, I don't know. Cal, I want to know if that's just Cal trying to, I don't know. Brady says Final Four bust. I don't know about all that. I don't know about Final Four bust. Just go on a good run. And let's make it fun in March. Let's not be one and done. Curtis says, I absolutely believe this is a Final Four roster. It absolutely could be. All right. I'm going to take my sick, tired ass to bed. I do appreciate everyone. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Check out the Patreon link. Well, it may not actually be provided free down below. If it's not, I don't know. Check out Discord. Hopefully next time you see me, hopefully I'll be a little bit better. Hey, we did 2 shows tonight, baby. Show your boys some love, huh? All right. James, I like reading the rebuttals. I'm not being negative, but I've been a Hog fan for a long time. We are capable of winning a national championship, but also making it to the second round. Don't get me wrong. I'm hyped for this team. Yeah. I think that's about where everybody is. I don't know that anybody's overhyping it yet. If you're saying this is a for sure national championship team, yeah, then you're probably overhyping for sure. All right. National champs, we stay healthy. Watch them boys work. This is Grind Shine TV. All right. I'll be back on Wednesday. Should be 6:30. I do appreciate the support. Hey, shout out. How about our boy Thomas? 23 points. 3 of 7 from outside. 7 boards, by the way. 7 boards. It was a three-way tie. 3-way tie with 7 boards. Brazil, Carter Knox, who maybe didn't do as much as we thought he would have by now, but that's okay. And then Malik with 7 boards as well. 4 assists and just 2 turnovers. 4 steals. He's got it. Tusk Talk with Ty, player of the game. He got this big bad son of a bitch right here. That's what he got. Congrats to him. Thomas looking like the missing link. What they probably needed a year ago to get to the Elite Eight or Final Four. He looks the part, baby. So grats to him. He gets that chain. Excited for the season. If you're not, I don't know, you're not into basketball, I guess. What are we doing? All right, everybody. I will see you Wednesday night, 6:30. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best in the business, all right? Down in Central Arkansas. 501-244-3667. Here it is. Hold on. on the screen. There it is. There it is. It's on the screen now. I forgot to pop that up there. It's my bad. Just scan that little code there. If you need work done on your door, they've got your back, huh? Give them a call if you're down in Central Arkansas. That's what you do. All right, that's it. Now I'm taking my old sick ass to bed. You guys have a good night, and I will see you Wednesday night. Be good.